And as far as, over the weekend, there was some reports of Ukraine dropping. At first, they thought it was phosphorus. Now it's something else. So that happened as well.
Yeah, it's not phosphor, but it was a lightning bomb. Yeah. Yes. It's also dangerous if if it gets in touch with the skin, for example. But it's not that bad as phosphorus. But it's still it's unbelievable that they are doing this.
It's illegal illegal to use that weapon. I see.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because meanwhile, Ukraine is applying to be part of NATO and part of the EU, and they're using these weapons illegally, and they're targeting civilians and they're targeting journalists. So it's really stunning to see the hypocrisy from the West about what's allowed in a conflict versus,
Yeah. So the West is you can really say it, that the West is supporting Nazis, and delivering to them weapons to kill civilians. I don't understand what is going on there, and I don't understand why nobody is understanding that. Well, too many people support that, especially this Green Party now in Germany, where I've been.
Now the Green Party here in the United States is more is not necessarily aligned with this conflict at all. So it's interesting how in the Western countries, how the different political parties kind of fall out in different ways. But one of the parts of the reporting that I noticed is that you talked about that the Russian nationals that live in the Donbass region were happy to see the Russian soldiers, and you reported on that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I never met a single person that wasn't happy about what is going on. And the other way around, I filmed so many people with tears in their eyes when we talked about this topic. They told me so many horrible stories about the last years, how they were suppressed by the radicals, Azov and so on, that lived between them. And there were young women disappearing and horrible things going on. And now they really hope that everything is changing now for the better. They support Russians. I always, when I'm talking to those people, I'm always asking them if they have seen something, if they have seen Russian soldiers doing something bad, and everyone is answering like, no, why are you asking those questions? They are always helping. They did this, then they did that, and they help with lots of stories. And
I saw the delivery of food and of supplies and of medical supplies from Russia to the Donbass region, right? And they were trying to distribute that through the population. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. And it's huge. The work the humanitarian aid they are doing now it's huge, really. And the people don't have anything left because I've been to lots of cities where the Ukrainians destroyed, especially the granaries. Well, lots of wheat and so on, like grains, and oil markets, water filter stations, and so on. So they especially destroyed them when they noticed that they are going. That they are not going to win, and before they left the cities, they destroyed everything. And I filmed this. So,
yes, yeah. So you're there with other, I assume, journalists. Are you meeting any journalists from the West at all, or any showing up, or is it mostly just investigative journalists?
Mostly it's independent investigative journalists coming here from the West, and luckily from lots of countries now. So I met a French, a British, Greek, Italian, from the US, from Australia. It's great. It's great, actually. And for the first time, a week ago, we had a German journalist here from the official news. He was taking part. He was taking part on a press tour. And afterwards, they were asking him questions in the German television, and he answered, well, the truth for the first time on German television. He said, well, they asked him, where did you feel the war going on the most? Understood? Well, where you really felt this war going on? Well, because he was traveling to lots of areas in the South Ukraine, and he answered the worst place with the worst and most dangerous place was Donetsk. So there was some truth in German television, and he said he can't believe that this war is going on already for 8 years for the people in Donbass, and imagine if you have kids and you have this life for 8 years and so on. Well, it was great that he said those things. And I think if more journalists would come here, they wouldn't lie. But I had to talk to a German boss of a television channel, and I asked him why he's not sending journalists to Donbass, and he said, "I know it wasn't a boss; it was a journalist it was a journalist." And he said, "I'm not. My boss is not paying me for this, so he wouldn't send me."